Why'd I do that? Whatever, testing. Hello, lovelies. It is your girl, Davina Daras, back with another video. So today I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to do a little game, more like a little test. And specifically, I wanted to do the rice purity test because apparently I'm 17 years old again. The reason why I wanted to do this today is because I wanted to do something fun. I wanted to do something that was a little bit more personal, get to know me intimately, because if you don't know already, I am a very sensual and intimate person. If you don't know what I do, I am a sensual and erotic artist. I have also done intimacy mentoring and intimacy coordinating. I'm very, very passionate about intimacy coordinating. I am a dancer and I am a writer and a speaker. I feel like the people who might follow me on this channel or have only seen my videos might only know the side of me that is a writer and a speaker, but I want you to know the other sides of me as well. So let's get into it. Something else, I'm also getting used to using my phone as a microphone. Normally, I always use the mic on the camera, and I think it's not the greatest. I mean, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. So I'm still navigating how to use this thing. And a little FYI, if you don't know what the rice purity test is, it's essentially this test that came out many, many years ago, and you would take it to test out how pure you are. It would ask you questions anywhere from, have you gone to second base? Have you had sex with more than one person? And it'll also ask you questions like, have you ever committed a crime? Do you take heavy drugs? Things like that. The way it works is that the number you get at the end, the higher the score is, that determines how pure you are. And the lower it is, determines how unpure you are. Okay, question number 1 is, have you ever held hands romantically? Yes. Yes, I have. Question 2, ever been on a date? Yes, I have. My first date I had when I was 12 years old. I actually went and saw the New Moon film with this boy, and it was fucking horrible. He was gross, to say the least. He was a 13-year-old creep, and I should not have gone on a date with him. He tried to touch me inappropriately during New Moon. Anyway. Thirdly, have I ever been in a relationship? I'm going to say no on that one because I have never been in a relationship for more than 6 months. So I'm going to leave that blank. Yeah, that surprises a lot of people. I'm a very independent woman, to say the least. Next question is, have you ever danced without leaving room for Jesus? Yes, I'm going to say yes on that one because I have definitely grinded with people. It's actually really fun. It's actually like my favorite form of foreplay and connection, just really getting into it with the music, but tastefully so, not aggressively so. Next question, have you ever kissed a non-family member? Yes, I have. Have I ever kissed a non-family member on the lips? Yes, I have. Have I ever French kissed? Yes, I have, and it is my favorite. It's the best way. I feel like it's the only real way to kiss nowadays. I mean, just making out without tongue is weird, for me, at least. Have I ever French kissed in public? Yes, I have. And for a while, I was actually really intimidated by public display of affection, but now I am low-key into it. I feel that most makeout sessions that I've had have been in public, actually, oddly enough. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Yeah. Kissed on the neck? Yes. Kissed horizontally? Yes. Given or received a hickey? Yes, I have never given a hickey, I don't think. I think I've tried, but I've never succeeded. But I have definitely received a hickey. Oh my God. A couple of years ago, I hooked up with this guy and he had a thing for giving hickeys. It was like his special move apparently. And my neck was fucking covered. I looked like an animal had went at me. It was insane. Doing that is just fucking rude. It feels nice for the most part. It feels nice. But doing that, leaving marks on me, and then I have to walk around for however many days and explain myself or fucking cover myself up with makeup, and God forbid I don't have makeup on, that's just mean. Kissed or been kissed on the breast? Yes, I have proudly done both. I have both kissed someone on the breast and received being kissed on the breast, and it is amazing. Ooh, kissed someone below the belt. Yes, I have. Kissed someone for more than 2 hours. Yes, I have. Actually, I think the last time I kissed someone, I mean, most of the time when I've made out with people, I feel like it's for more than 2 hours. However, I have a memory that's popping up in my mind. Last year, I was involved with this guy and I went to a fetish event with him, and we met up with this other girl, and me, him, and her all made out for like 3 hours. It was fucking insane. It was wild. That's probably the most dehydrated I've ever been, honestly. It was fun, but it was a lot. And then she left and me and him proceeded to continue making out. And that, I've just never been more dehydrated. I have never lacked saliva that much in my life, as gross as that sounds. Oh my God, what am I revealing? Played a game involving stripping. Yes, I have. Seen or been seen by another person in a sensual context. Yes. I mean, if you've seen my artwork, if you know what I do creatively, professionally, then yes, many people have seen me in a very sensual context, and I have seen a lot of other people in a very sensual context. Masturbated. Me? Never. I have never, ever done that. I would never. Could never. Absolutely. Who the fuck would I be if I didn't do that? Whenever I meet women, to be fair, who tell me they don't masturbate, I think they're lying. I think they're lying, or I think they need my services for emotional support purposes, not actually. Anyway, masturbated to a picture or a video. Yes, I have done that. I've done that many times in my life. You know, I have been watching porn since I was very young, so I've definitely done that. Ooh, masturbated while someone else was in the room. Yes, I have, and that is incredible. Watching someone masturbate, having someone watch you masturbate, doing that with your partner, it's a lot of fun, and it's really, really fucking hot, and it really sets the mood. Like, my favorite thing as a woman, I think there's nothing hotter than a woman just laying back and showing a man, this is how I pleasure myself. This is how I like being pleased. You're going to sit there, you're going to watch. You're not only going to enjoy it, but you're going to take notes. For the love of God and everything holy, take notes. Take notes. And then go and do that same thing. Because really, we're teaching you when we do this. So yes, I have done this, and I love it a lot. Oh my God, been caught masturbating. Yes. Yeah, I think I have. I'm pretty positive I have. I think I have a very vivid memory of my family catching me when I was a child. I think, like, one of my family members catching me, and I think I was just like, I wasn't doing nothing. I wasn't doing it. I wasn't touching down there. I don't think I got in trouble. I think whoever the family member was, I think they kind of just like, I think they just kind of like backed up and left and act like it didn't happen. So I can never say this word, masturbated with an inanimate object. Yes, I have. Seen or read pornographic material. Yes, I have. Oh, massaged or been massaged sensually. Yes. I have, and it is one of my favorite things as well. Being massaged is incredible. I one time had this guy, I hooked up with him a few years ago, and we didn't even have sex. He just came over and he massaged me because I told him I didn't want to hook up with him immediately because I didn't know him all that well. He literally just massaged me for a solid hour, and it was so hot and it was so incredible. That I wish would happen a lot more often. Most of the time I feel like I'm the one giving these men massages. I'm the one catering to them, which I love doing, but I want to receive. Someone come and massage me. Gone through the motions of intercourse while fully dressed. No, I've actually never ever had sex with my clothes on. I personally can't stand it because when I'm being intimate with someone, I just want to rip everything off. It's a distraction for me. And I get it, for some people it's hot. It's a part of the foreplay. It's part of the artistry of seduction and pleasure. But for me, it's not. For me, I'm like, why is this here? Why is this here? We don't need this here. We're here to see, to feel, to experience it all. And I can't do that if I have a barrier. So no, I have not had sex while fully dressed because I hate it. Undressed or been undressed by a member of the preferred sex. Yes, and that is another thing I love. I love when a man just can't take his hands off me and he just wants to rip everything off of me. It's so fucking hot. I feel like every single time I've had sex, the guy is like, I'm undressing you now. I am ripping this dress off of you. I don't care how much you paid for it. Ripping it off. I fucking love that. Showered with a member of the preferred sex. No, I have not. I've actually never showered with someone. And honestly, it kind of sounds complicated. I feel like every person I've talked to who has had sex in the shower, it just sounds like a disaster. And I'm a really tall person. I'm almost 6 foot tall and I'm a thick girl. I don't really want to try to be slipping and sliding in there with someone. I don't want to be scared. I just want to freshen up. So maybe I would if it was a big ass shower. But even then, I don't know, just having sex in the shower, it doesn't sound bad, but it just sounds like so much work. I don't know if I'm energetic enough for that. Fondled or had your butt cheeks fondled? Yes, I have. What the fuck? Why is that the word? Fondled or had your breasts fondled? Yes. That's a very interesting choice of words. Fondled or had your genitals fondled? Yes, I have. And again, I don't like that fucking word. Why is it being said that way? Fondled? Fondled just feels weird. Had or given blue balls? I'm going to say yes, because I'm pretty positive I have given people blue balls before, not deliberately. I mean, if I'm teasing people, yeah. I don't know. I've definitely been on dates with dudes off of dating apps in the past, and I did not want to hook up with them, and they wanted to hook up with me, and they were like really turned on at one point, and I was just like, nah. So I guess I would say yes for that one. Had an orgasm due to someone else's manipulation. So actually, I think I'm going to leave that one blank. I have actually never had someone else give me an orgasm. Even when I'm having sex, I'm usually the person who finishes myself off. So I'm going to leave that as a no, which might sound alarming, but that's actually really common. A lot of women with their male partners don't have an orgasm unless they are doing a lot of things with their hands, with their tongue, a lot of oral, a lot of bump and grind. Those are things that get me off. And so I'm going to leave it blank because I'm usually always the one doing it. I'm always the one who's like, okay, I'll get myself there and I'll let them watch, but I'm usually the one who always gets myself there. So I have yet for someone to use magical fingers on me or a magical tongue and, get me to heaven in their way. Sent a sexually explicit text or instant message. Absolutely. Yeah, I've done a lot of sexting in my life. I've done a lot of it. I did so much of it in my early 20s, and that's also how I got through COVID. I think that's how all of us got through COVID. But I think sexting is really, really fucking fun and really hot as well. And there's a lot of people who get a little weary about sexting, but I think it's great. I think it gives you so much creativity mentally. It's all about your imagination and really sharing that with someone. And I did have someone who I was sexting a lot at one point, and it was great. I've never been so aroused in my life. I've never been so mentally stimulated and turned on by another person. Sent or received sexually explicit photographs. Yes. Again, do you know who I am? Of course I have. Engaged in a sexually explicit activity over video chat. Yes, I have. And again, very, very fun. I love doing this. Of course, only do this if you are over the age of 18. Do not do this if you are not that age. But yes, I have. Oh shit. Okay. Cheated on a significant other during a relationship. No. I have never done that. When I was in my early 20s, I definitely was involved with a couple guys where I later found out they had girlfriends. And that was a very uncomfortable scenario for me. But no, I have never cheated on someone. I would never, could never. I've been cheated on. I have dated people where they cheated on me. Purchase contraceptives. Yes, I have. I do all the time. I am someone who does not take birth control. I don't use birth control like pills or anything like that. I only use condoms. So I am a frequent buyer of contraceptives, and I am a huge condom advocate. I'm like the only person I know who loves them. So yes, I do buy them. I buy them on the frequent. Gave oral sex. Yes, I have, and I love it so much. Honestly, I probably love doing that more than I do getting penetrated, honestly. I love giving pleasure. And if I really like the person, especially, it's pretty awesome. Received oral sex. Yes, 1,000 times, yes. And I wish I received it more often. I really do. I'm like, come on, just give her a kiss. Tell her she's beautiful. Oh, Jesus. Ingested someone else's genital secretion. Yes. Used a sex toy with a partner. Yes. Spent the night with a member of the preferred sex. Yes, I have. I like sleepovers. Ooh, been walked in on while engaging in a sexual act. No. Not that I know of, at least. No. I've definitely have had sex while other people were like outside in the hall, but I've never had someone walk in. I've never had anyone interrupt. Kicked a roommate out to commit a sexual act. Yes, I have definitely done that. Ingested alcohol in a non-religious context. Yes. Played a drinking game. Technically I have. I have a game that's called Truth or Drink that I used to watch a lot of people on YouTube play back in the day. And I've played it a few different times, but I've never played it with alcohol. So I don't know if that counts. So maybe I'll leave that as a no. I'm not a big drinker, so probably a no. Been drunk. Yes, I have. Not that many times in my life, honestly, probably like 3 or 4. But yeah, I've been drunk. Faked sobriety to parents or teachers. No. As I just said, I'm not a big drinker, and I definitely wasn't drinking when I was a teenager. I was pretty anti a lot of things. I was not anti-sex, but I was anti-intercourse. I was anti-drinking, anti-drugs when I was young, just because I was like, I'm a kid and I shouldn't be doing those things. Like, I was very sexual as a child, but I felt like I was above everyone else just doing the non-penetrative forms of pleasure. Never faked sobriety or anything to parents because I was a good girl. I did what I was told. Had severe memory loss due to alcohol. No. Used tobacco. Yes, I have only smoked a cigarette a few times in my life. And again, I hated it. It was when I was young. When I was probably 10 or 11 is when I first smoked a cigarette. And I was like, this is fucking heinous. Who the hell enjoys this? For what reason? And I don't like it still to this day. Used marijuana. Yes, I have a few times in my life and I don't really like it. Once again, not a big smoker, but I have done it. Used a drug stronger than marijuana. No, no. Fuck no. Oh God. Used meth, crack cocaine, PCP, horse tranquilizers, or heroin. No, I have not. Thank God. Been sent to the office of a principal or dean for disciplinary infraction. I'll say yes. I was in detention a few times when I was young, but not that much. I got detention a couple times because I was always late. I've only ever gotten detention twice in my entire life because I actually did something bad. One of which was when I was in kindergarten, and these two boys who were like 2 grades ahead of me were beating up one of my friends. It was literally like something out of a movie. And I got so fucking pissed, and I walked over there and I punched one of them in the face and I kicked the other one in the balls. And then we all got sent to the principal's office. And I was like, shouldn't have fucked with my friend. That was probably the most badass thing I've ever done in my life, though, honestly. I was protecting him. Been put on disciplinary probation or suspended? No, I have never been suspended. I never did anything that bad. Urinated in public? Yes, who hasn't? Gone skinny dipping? Yes, I have. And the first time I went skinny dipping, I think I was 7 or 8 years old. And I went skinny dipping in a lake with family friends. And I also went skinny dipping in a friend's pool when I was a kid. I skinny dipped a lot when I was a child and when I was an early teenager, which is fucking insane to say out loud. Gone streaking? Yes, I have. I have done it once in my entire life. Again, when I was about 13. I remember me and one of my ex-girlfriends, we were just young and ridiculous and bored, and we just decided to go streaking around our neighborhood, which is awful to say out loud because we were kids. And so if people saw us, they were like, oh, there goes 2 children running down the fucking street naked. Seen a stripper? Yes, I have. I have been to an actual strip club, and I have also seen a male entertainer perform. Funny story, I actually saw a male entertainer for the first time. I think it was about a month ago, and in that same evening, I went to a strip club. I ended up at a strip club after a male entertainment show. So I did both for the first time in one night because that's the type of person I am, apparently. Had the police called on me? No, never. Dear God. Run from the police? No. Had the police questioned me? No. Had the police handcuffed me? No. Been arrested? No. Been convicted of a crime? No. Been convicted of a felony? No. Committed an act of vandalism? No. I'm a good girl. I am a good person. I don't do these things. Had sexual intercourse? Yes. Had sexual intercourse 3 or more times in one night? Yes. Then there's one that's literally just a fucking question mark. I don't know why that is. Had sexual intercourse 10 or more times? Yes. Had sexual intercourse in 4 or more positions? Yes. 90% of the time when I have sex, we're never just in one position. I'm switching it up constantly. We're always moving around. I'm never just laying there, or I'm never just on top. We're moving. This is a dance, you know? We're making music, baby. Had sexual intercourse with a stranger or person you met within 24 hours? Yes. I have only ever had a one-night stand once in my life. And yeah, it was fun. It was fine. But I'm really not into one-night stands just because I like to get to know people before I have sex with them. So that's not a favorite of mine, but I have done it. Had sexual intercourse in a motor vehicle? No, I've been fingered. I've been fingered in a vehicle, but I don't know if that counts. I've never been penetrated with a penis in a motor vehicle or anything bigger than that. I've never been penetrated with anything bigger than a finger. Had sexual intercourse outdoors? No, but that would be fun, depending on where it was outdoors. Had sexual intercourse in public? No, but I have been fingered in public. I have been fingered in front of people before. I've been intimate at a fetish event, but not with a pee-pee, but technically a finger was inside of me. So I don't know. I'll leave it blank. I'll leave it blank. Had sexual intercourse in a swimming pool or hot tub? No, and I would advise not to do that because it's actually really bad for you to have sex in water. It's really bad for girls. It's a recipe for yeast infections. So I've never done that. I never really want to, and I would advise for others not to do it because it's not as thrilling as it seems in movies and TV shows. Had sexual intercourse in a bed not belonging to you or your partner? I mean, technically, yes, because I've had sex in hotels before. So I'll say yes. But I think that question is more referred to like hooking up in a friend's bed or something, which I've never done because I think that's just fucking rude. Had sexual intercourse while you or your partner's parents were in the same house? Yes, I have had sex with my family in the house more than once. It's just kind of the situation. It's the situation how it has to be sometimes, you know? Had sexual intercourse with a non-participating third party in the same room? No. I think that question is mostly referring to if you have sex with someone else in the room and they're unconscious. Probably if you have a roommate or something, if you're in college or whatever. No, I've never done that. And I don't think I could, honestly. I think I'd be too scared. I think I'd be too scared of them waking up. So I know for some people that's a thrill, but for me, that makes me anxious. I think I would feel bad because I wouldn't want people, because, oh my God, I once had a sleepover with a couple and they totally had sex while I was in the room and they thought I was sleeping. I think I woke up and I heard them and then I fell back asleep. And so I think I've never done that because I don't want to make someone else feel that way. Joined the Mile High Club. I don't know what that is, so I'm going to say no. Participated in a booty call with a partner whom you were not in a relationship with? Yes, I've done that. Yeah. And I've also called someone over for a booty call before. So, yes. Traveled 100 or more miles for the primary purpose of sexual intercourse. I'll say yes, because I've definitely traveled out of state a couple different times to hook up with someone. I mean, I liked these people and I did want to actually date them, but sex was a very big factor. So I'll say yes. Had sexual intercourse with a partner with a 3 or more year age difference? Yes. I think the oldest person I've ever had sex with is 3 years older than me. Yes. Okay. Had sexual intercourse with a virgin? No, I don't think so. I'm pretty fucking positive. I would be shocked if any of the men I had sex with were a virgin. Had sexual intercourse without a condom? Yes. Oh, and not by fucking choice. I hooked up with this guy a few years ago and it was our first time having sex. He brought a condom and he said he just forgot to put it on for the first however many minutes. And I basically freaked the fuck out. And I was like, oh my God, if I'm pregnant, I will kill this person. I did not get pregnant. It was fine. And it was only for maybe a minute. But still, it was enough to freak me the fuck out. Had a STI test due to reasonable suspicion? Yes. Had an STI? Yes, I have. When I was 25 or when I was 26, 25, whatever. The same person who I hooked up with who did not use a condom for the first however long, I got an STI from him. I had HPV. I had it for a year. It cleared itself. I didn't have any symptoms, thankfully. I had it pretty easy, but I had HPV for a year. And yeah, I was very annoyed and very, very frustrated. But also be mindful that you can get HPV with a condom because it is transferred via skin. It doesn't, even if you're wearing a condom, you can still get HPV, unfortunately. So I had a threesome. Yes. The only time I've ever had a threesome, I was young. I was a teenager. And it was with one of my friends, a girl, and one of her friends. And I kind of got roped into it. And talking about it makes me feel uncomfortable because we were so fucking young. We were babies, but yes, I have had a threesome in another lifetime. Attended an orgy. I'm gonna say yes, because I have been to fetish events where people were having sex and they were all kind of like fucking and sucking in a circle. So I'll say yes on that one. Had 2 or more distinct acts of sexual intercourse with 2 or more people within 24 hours. No. I've never hooked up with 2 or more people in one day. No, never done that. I have hooked up with someone the night before I was going on a date with someone else once. When I was like 25, something like that. I did not really know these people. God, that doesn't sound any better. I was going out on a date with one guy for the first time, and then I was hooking up with an old flame. Me and him got together literally the night before I went on a date with this next guy. It's the only time I've ever done that. Had sexual intercourse with 5 or more partners. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Been photographed or filmed during sexual intercourse by yourself or others. I have never been filmed getting penetrated. I have been photographed and filmed pleasuring myself. I have done it through erotic art, but I've never been filmed having sex with someone. So I'll leave that blank. Had period sex. Yes, I have. It's not my favorite thing. There's no shame in it. It's very normal, but it's not my favorite thing. But yeah, I have done that. Had anal sex. No. I have been curious, but I have not had anal sex. Had a pregnancy scare. Yes. That one time that I hooked up with that guy and he didn't wear a condom, I was very, very anxious. Paid or been paid for a sexual act? No. Committed an act of voyeurism? I'll say yes. I mean, I've been to fetish events and I've watched. I love watching. I love voyeurism. I've never committed an act of voyeurism in a non-consensual context, only in a consensual way. Committed an act of incest. Oh God, fuck no. Engaged in bestiality. No. And that's where it ends. It gets wild right at the end, going out with a bang. Damn. Calculating my score. 35. Okay. That's not so bad. I think it could be a lot worse. I think if there wasn't all of those questions about drugs and felonies and fucking bestiality, then it would have probably been a little bit lower. That is my score. That is my test. That is my rice purity test. I hope it was fun. I hope it was entertaining for you. I really enjoy watching people take quizzes and doing stuff like this. So I really want to do more of it myself because I just think it's silly and I think it's entertaining. Well, I hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about me intimately. I am a very sexual but very selective person. I love talking about sex and I used to make videos all the time talking about sex actually, and I want to do it more. This was really fun for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this and let me know if you want to see more content like this one. So thank you again for being here. I appreciate you so much. Until next time. Bye, lovelies.